Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the comments of Lewandowski and the comments coming from Gavi. There are two quotes that I do want to bring up for today's video. I'm sorry that I haven't been here in a very long time. It was because I was sick for the past 3 to 4 days and I sounded very congested. I didn't want to speak with my own voice through this mic and you guys are going to be like, wow, he sounds horrible. So I'm sorry that I have been absent, but now we are back, baby. We're back with full power and I do want to return with these quotes and we are going to be having a deep analysis on why Lewandowski and Gavi did say these statements. So it should be a very interesting video. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are Barcelona fans, this is going to be the channel for you guys. If you guys want to support this YouTube channel, you guys can so by subscribing to the channel and also liking this video. I myself would greatly appreciate it. And so let's first talk about Lewandowski. Lewandowski about 7 days ago did state this, and this was before the match between Osasuna and Barcelona. We are Barcelona and we are expected not to only win but to also play good attacking football, but lately that has not been as it should be. So we have been fighting to create more chances. When we see Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati come on, two players who go forward, we create more chances. Sometimes we don't play with enough attacking players. I don't have support, so I look for the best solution for the team. I think that with my experiences, when I know my body, I look for the best solution not only for me but also for the team. I realize that sometimes if I'm between two central defenders, it's easier for the defenders. In many games, I don't have many chances to score. In the last 2 games, I didn't have many chances. I didn't receive many balls. So sometimes I have to create my own chances. And so I know that you guys may say, oh, Kevin is going to say that Barcelona do enough for Lewandowski and that Lewandowski is not good enough. He's too old. He's just complaining. Well, here's going to be the huge surprise. I think that what Lewandowski is saying, it is true. Like if you look at the past 45 matches that Barcelona have played in La Liga, it is true. Lewandowski does not get much support from his midfielders and from his wingers and from also his fullbacks. It's very important for someone at the age of 35 years old to get as much support as possible. At the moment, the system that we have, it is not enough for Lewandowski to perform. And there are multiple reasons on why I believe Barcelona have not done enough to really function as a unit and to bring the best out of Lewandowski. It is because they don't have the chemistry, because this is a very new team and most of these players do not understand their roles 100%, which is very normal. A lot of players that go into brand new teams or have only been there for about 1 to 2 years, they still need to understand their roles. It does take time. It does happen at City, it happens at Arsenal, it happens at Bayern Munich, it happens at Real Madrid, it happens at Liverpool, it happens everywhere. And this team that Barcelona have, it is brand new and with only young players. Like this team that we have, for the first time we can say that the Barcelona that we saw 7 years ago is no longer here, besides Ter Stegen. But he's not really part of that group of Gerard Piqué, Jordi Alba, Messi, Sergio Busquets, Luis Suarez, Lenglet, Umtiti, etc. Like all of those players are gone. We have brand new young players who are playing for the first time together, and that is going to be one of the biggest objectives that Xavi Hernandez is going to have to go through, is how can he make this team click? Because if you make the team click, you also get the best from Lewandowski. Now you may say, but Kevin, look at how Hansi Flick turned his team around in 3 to 4 months. It didn't take that much time to make his team click and they won the Champions League and Lewandowski was outperforming and outscoring his expected goal rate. Well, look, remember, I said one of the factors and one of the reasons on why Xavi Hernandez's Barcelona have yet to like really click and become that dominant team, right? The best in Europe, it is because our team is very young and our team has a lot of players that don't understand their roles 100%. Like sometimes we see players in the wrong position or they're not there in the correct time to receive a ball from Lewandowski, or sometimes they make the runs late on the wings. A lot of things do go wrong that we don't really see. We only see, or for the average fan, they only see the goals that Barcelona score and the goals that Barcelona concede. But what happens between those 2 points? It is a lot and a lot of mistakes. If Lewandowski came into this team knowing that Messi was still here, he renewed his contract and stayed at Barcelona. If Dembele was also still here and renewed his contract until like 2030, and we had Jordi Alba at his prime, Busquets still performing at his prime, even at the age of 34, 35 years old, Pedri and Frankie also being here and working together for the 4th to 5th year since 2020, then yes, I would say, okay, there's something wrong with Lewandowski because the team that we could have had much more time together, had better chemistry, they're much older, they're more experienced, but we cannot say that today. Dembele, Messi, Jordi Alba, Busquets, they're all gone. Pedri and Frankie, they're here, but they have to work around players that have not been here in a very long time, and that is why there is a disconnect. And that's also a reason why we say Pedri and Frankie are the best partners for Lewandowski. That is because these two players understand their roles and they're very experienced and they have been together since 2020. Frankie de Jong is the main distributor distributor to Lewandowski. Pedri is also the main sidekick to Lewandowski inside and outside the box. So going back to what I said, Xavi's biggest job is to make this team click and make this a body of work for it to function in one unit. Now, if we look at these heat maps here, right, it's going to give us a better understanding on just how much Lewandowski does not actually see the ball during games. In this matchup between Barcelona and Osasuna, there's very little passes between Lewandowski and any other midfielder or any other fullback, right? Zero support, nothing. The only player that's able to see Lewandowski a lot, it is Frankie de Jong, like I've said 1 minute ago. The biggest partnerships and the best partnerships for Lewandowski, it is either Frankie de Jong or Pedri. In this game, it was Frankie de Jong because he is at his prime. Just look at how Frankie de Jong dominates almost every advanced metric in the game. He's number 1 in open play expected assist. He's number 1 in expected offensive value. He's number 1 in expected threats from passes. He's number 1 in expected threats from carries. And I want to make this very clear. Frankie de Jong is number 1 in all of these things because he is experienced. He has been in his role since 2019. And that is why I do say, give the other players more time to gel with their team. Like Balde, like Gavi, like Ansu, like Ferran Torres, like Oriol Romeo, Araujo, Koundé, all of these players, give them more time because then they would be able to give out the results that we see from Frankie de Jong. Now, unfortunately, Lewandowski can only be here for so long. Like, he's not going to be here in about 3 years. But I hope that this does give everybody the understanding on why Lewandowski is saying this. Like, what he is saying, it is true. But we also have to understand why this is happening and what we must do to improve on top of this. Here's going to be another heat map between Barcelona and Cadiz where Barcelona won 2-0. I don't even see the number 9. I don't even see Lewandowski anywhere in this heat map, like at all. And it's crazy to even see just how much of an absence he is. You can see that there's a lot of passes going on between the fullback, the midfielders, between the center backs. There's a lot of passes going on there, but nothing between the midfielders and Lewandowski or the fullbacks and Lewandowski. Now, if we look at a good example, it is going to be coming from Man City, and they went up against Fulham where they won 5-1. Look how much dominance there is in the front three. We can see that Julian Alvarez has a lot of prominence, receiving a lot of passes from his midfielders and the fullbacks. Even Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, all of these players see a lot of the ball. Look at how this is compared to the graph of FC Barcelona. So the difference is huge. Barcelona have been unsuccessful in multiple matches this season when it came to finding Lewandowski. Like in that match between Barcelona and Villarreal where they won 4-3, there's a big reason why Lewandowski did not see the ball. It was because Alonso was a left back, does not give the same attacking output like Alejandro Balde. Sergio Roberto was the right back for FC Barcelona also on that game. Gavi was also a left winger in that game. Very little attackers, a lot of midfielders, and a lot of defenders. This is what Lewandowski was complaining about a week ago, saying that there is not enough attacking players. And the only player that is able to see Lewandowski a lot and connect with him, it is Frankie de Jong. And I want that to be like the main conclusion of this whole video. Frankie de Jong has also been a player that has been considered as a protagonist for Barcelona, and he is the only one, and we need other players to join him so Lewandowski can see more of the ball. And also with the counters, I think that with Barcelona counterattacking, we're not that fast, especially if you compare the counterattacks from Bayern Munich back in 2020. We're nowhere near that level. Look at the comparisons. Look at the amount of speed Bayern have compared to FC Barcelona. We need more wingers, like what Lewandowski was saying. We need more attackers. And there are games that are going to require for Barcelona to have fast wingers when the field is open and the opposition wants to attack. This goes back to what Lewandowski did say. We need more attackers. We need Ansu. We need Ferran Torres to tackle these spaces. Lewandowski flourishes in situations like this. And so stepping away from this, right, this is going to lead me towards my next point. And I'm going to be shifting topics, and I want to talk about Gavi. And so just because I'm saying that this Barcelona system that we have right now is not fully refined and is not 100% connected, it does not also mean that we're not making progress. It does not mean that. The Barcelona team that we are seeing is making progress. It's just that we're not where we want to be. And I know that it does seem very frustrating to know that it does take some time for us to build the squad and the team that we want to see, but it is just how it is, and this is just how football is, right? We are making progress. We just need better chemistry between the players, and we also have to take into account that we're working with young players. So Gavi did say this after the match between Barcelona and Osasuna. I feel like if we played this match 2 years ago, we would have lost this game, and that is what I do mean. Barcelona have made progress. We have moved away from an era where every time a game does get very difficult for us, we lose the match. Barcelona is no longer that team. I think that mentally we have upgraded. We know how to suffer. We know how to get through really tough matches. And even though it may be an ugly match and Barcelona do not play the most beautiful football in the world, we still get a result and we still manage to cool our heads and continue to focus on the match, even though it may seem like that we might end up with just 1 point by the end of this game. Barcelona know how to get results, and that is why Gavi did say, if this was us 2 years ago, and we had the squad that we had 2 years ago, and we had the coach that we had 2 years ago, hence Ronald Koeman, we would have lost this match. Barcelona is no longer that team. Now it's a matter of, okay, we know how to suffer, we know how to get wins against very ugly teams and difficult games. Now, how can we play top level football? How can we play attracting football from this? And most importantly, how can we get the best from Lewandowski? Like what we talked about in this video. I know it may seem much more easier to say it, but it's so hard to actually do it and execute this. So what Gavi is saying here is facts. Gavi knows exactly what he's talking about. And I also do want to shout out Gavi, because I think that Gavi is somebody that's always overlooked. Many say that Gavi should be benched, and I don't think so. I think that when games get tough, like what he talked about, right? When there are ugly matches, and you guys know what I mean, like between Barcelona and Getafe, sometimes when we see Barcelona versus Cadiz and we know it's like 1-0 and there's like 80 minutes left, like Gavi is the perfect player to place in there, because Gavi is built for those tough matches when things get very ugly. He has great ball retention, great circulation, security between the lines, and he's just built for this type of adversity in the games. And that is why I continue to say Gavi is a very important player for Barcelona, a player that carries a lot of experience. He has been through the rough era, which was under Ronald Koeman, where we lost so many games. I mean, just look at these games, like Barcelona versus Cadiz 2 years ago. We tied against them at the Camp Nou with a squad like this that had Pedri, Busquets, Frankie, Dembele, Messi, and Griezmann. How do you tie 1-1 against Cadiz at the Camp Nou? Look at how we lost against Cadiz, again 2-1 at their home, and we still had a great team with Coutinho, Griezmann, Messi, Martin Braithwaite as our number 9, Frankie de Jong, Busquets, Serginho Dest. We had a great team. And then if you look at these other matches against Granada at the Camp Nou, Barcelona lost 2-1 with a great team again. Griezmann, Messi, Busquets, Moriba, Frankie, Sergio Roberto. You can see another match against Celta de Vigo where Barcelona lost at the Camp Nou yet again. And look at all of these other matches under Ronald Koeman, and Gavi was witnessing all of this at his time there. We tied against Cadiz 0-0. We lost against Benfica 3-0. Lost against Atletico Madrid 2-0. Lost against Real Madrid 2-1. We lost against Rayo Vallecano 1-0. We tied against Alaves at the Camp Nou 1-1. We tied against Celta Vigo 3-3. So many ugly matches, so many difficult matches, and we couldn't get a result. If Xavi was there and he had 2 years already under his belt, we probably would have won those games, but not at the very best style, but at the very least win. So that is going to be wrapped up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.